Alright guys, what is going on? Levi Apparel, like and subscribe. Doing a lot of lives. I got this video coming up on DTF. Took a little longer to make it, so the editing process is a little bit draining because I have a super long video that I have to cut and only digest it so you can have only the best parts of it. So that's going on. Oh, today started out okay, but the traffic is starting to pick up again. Anyways, so like I said in the topic, sublimation success. We're gonna talk all about sublimation today. Yesterday I had the live and we kind of ran out of time, so I couldn't really talk much about sublimation. So I only gave you like a color version, but this channel is basically a somewhat autobiography about what's going on at Levi Apparel as far as a t-shirt business and as a print shop, because I don't just do t-shirts. If you're here, like and subscribe. Thank you for joining. This is just another drive and talk with me. All right. So, yeah, so today we're going to be talking about sublimation. The number one issue with sublimation right now is the number one issue with sublimation right now, the sublimation printers are really high, like they're ridiculously high in price. I don't know if people are all of a sudden tuning in to sublimation and figuring out what these printers can do, and all because they don't do sublimation, they want to capitalize on the fact that most people that do it needs these printers on eBay and Amazon. Oh my God. I saw the printer I have at home, right? It cost me $112 to get, right? I have the Epson 7710. Somebody had that on the market for on Amazon close to $1,000. The cheapest they put it for was $499 after taxes. You're probably looking at least close to $530. That's ridiculous, you know. If you go on Etsy, you can find the Epson 7710 or 7720 for like $200, which makes sense. But the issue with Etsy is I've been burned before. I've used Etsy and I don't like to use them as much. I prefer to go either eBay or Amazon. When I went on Etsy, I purchased this software and the guy never delivered the software. Took my money, asked for a refund, couldn't get the refund. And what ended up happening was, after I checked back to see what was going on, the guy just closed down shop. So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get my money back. You know, that was for like back when I was getting into the whole embroidery thing and some embroidery software before I purchased my EM1010, and now I have actual real embroidery software. So that came with it. So that's one reason why I don't like to shop over there. I'll shop for anything else but like large equipments like that, because I don't know, I got burned out. I've had a bad flavor in my mouth. But anyways, but yeah, so sublimation printers are expensive. Oh man, if you go on we call it Epson, which is the leading Amazon printer, the leading sublimation printers that you can use, because their system is just on point. I love it. All right. So with that said, the EM 1500, no, the ET 1500 for Epson printers. Is it ET? Oh, ecotank 1500. That right there. Whew, I wish I could get me one of those. But if you can't, if you can spend that much money, it's best to go and just grab yourself one of those sawgrass printers, right? The ink is extremely expensive, the printer's expensive, but at the end of the day, any issue you have, sawgrass can handle. When it comes to prints, like one cartridge alone will give you way more than what you need. And if you're just a hobbyist printer, you just started, that printer will make you the money back plus more, right? That's the sawgrass printers for sublimation. I think it's like sawgrass 1000 or something like that, and 500 that they have. The 1000 can do, I believe, 11 by 17s, and if you get bypass tray, 13 by 19. Yeah, but sublimation is where to go. The reason why I'm talking about sublimation today is because your boy's about to get another printer. Oh man, my wife's gonna kill me. It's gonna be my third sublimation printer. The 7710 I had, I converted it to DTF ink, and the print on that is so amazing. I'm not changing it back to sublimation. So I had gotten a smaller sublimation printer that was in ecotank. I thought I was going to use that one, and I still am going to use it, but I'm going to use it for mugs and like small image related projects, right? Mug printing, books, you know, things that don't require a lot of space, you know, small shirts. But when it comes to like large images on large shirts, I'm gonna go to this new printer. So, let me give you a backstory. In this process of trying to get a larger sublimation printer, I had gone to eBay, and if you want a sublimation printer right now, eBay is where to be, because if you don't mind troubleshooting printers and figuring out what issues are to resolve it, and all that stuff, it's worth the time, because the amount that you're spending on a sublimation printer, like I'm getting the 7610, ooh-wee, I can't wait to get that. And I believe the shop said the issue they had with it is they had 1,000, close to 300, 1,000, maybe 100 to 300 prints. So between 1,000 to prints is what they have in that printer. If you're not aware of Epson printers, it may seem like you can print continuously, but after a certain amount of printing and print head cleanings, there's a sponge or some kind of ink collection kit that's built into the printer. And what that does is, it does what it says, it collects ink, the waste ink. After a certain amount of prints, you have to remove that, or you have to get a reset chip if it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I don't really care about that because it's a project I can just put on YouTube and show you how to do. But yeah, because of that, I was able to get this printer that if you went to Amazon and you look this printer up, the 7610 is between I think the cheapest you can get it is maybe 512, 515, I mean 412, 415. But originally it did not cost that much, and that's used with like extra fees for shipping plus taxes. You're probably looking at maybe $500 to $600, right? Brand new, this printer is going for close to $100. I know it's crazy. These Sublimation printers that was like cheap, and since Epson is not making them anymore, they're going for like high value because people know what you can do with them, especially the ones that can print 13 by 19. All right. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, I can't wait to get it. Shipping is for January 3rd. Monday, I have a project I gotta finish with this guy's shirt. He wanted it all over black with like some kind of image in the front and on the back, and the rest of the shirt is all black. Now, the issue I had was not so much printing because I have a smaller Sublimation printer. The image I had was printing all those images and combining them like a collage to create one image. Like when you have a small printer that prints, it can print 8 by 14, but it's like you're gonna get 8 by 14. So what I decided to do was just get a larger Sublimation. In the beginning, the Canon 1220G ecotank, that's what I call it. It's an eco-type printer. At first it sounded great, wonderful, you know, but again the issue was the prints are too small, and I really don't want to waste my time cutting all those images just to do like one shirt. And then I have 10 more shirts I gotta do. And I'm like, I'm not gonna waste all that time. So the only shortcut around this was to get a larger printer. Now, if you know my shop, I have a lot of printers. I do a lot. If you don't know, I have a t-shirt company. Aside from my custom design company, I have currently called Apparel, that the channel you're watching. I have another one that I'm starting called Acrorip. The reason why I'm starting that is because I wanted to create my own products, my own apparel brand, and I have to worry about what people want. I mean, I could use my current channel, my current, and I don't know, maybe I should, but I just don't want to have a customer that goes, oh wow, this shirt is beautiful, this and that, nice. You know what? I'm gonna make the same shirt. Hit me up, send me the design. It's similar to mine, and I'm gonna be upset because like, yo, what the hell? This is my idea. You know? It's that, and then I didn't want at the same time like tons of people just hit me for like custom design stuff because the back and forth is ridiculous. The reason why I started this journey on YouTube is not so much to promote my custom design apparel companies, to show those who want to do what I do to do it. Also to document my journey and to stay in the loop with other t-shirt makers for software design, like new machines, new ideas as far as like making shirts, you know. So I've gotten to the point where I've gathered enough information where I can kind of branch off a little bit. Now sit back, learn my equipment, make more shirts. Because before I had like this very last piece of machinery, I was basically just watching videos, learning and studying and improving my craft. Now that I'm able to focus a little bit more on just creating, I have the software I need, and on top of having the software I need, I have the knowledge to improve those softwares. I have the knowledge to be at a better situation than I was before, because originally when I first started my company, I had an order and I'm assuming, yeah, I'm doing t-shirts, I'm just gonna cut up some vinyls. It turned into, oh, I want cars, I want this, I want that. And I told the lady, like, yo, listen, I don't do all that. I just make t-shirts using vinyl. I have my little 8x11 vinyl cutter. That was the silhouette portrait. And then as time went by, people wanted bigger pieces, so I evolved into the silhouette cameo that could do 12x12. You know, and after that I got a larger one. You know, this is all going into the whole sublimation thing. Eventually I stumbled upon Condi, and Condi is a company that does a lot of different things, but they do, their main focus, in my opinion, based on what I've seen so far, is sublimation, right? So in case you want to do sublimation films, there's something they have that's called, dang it, I forgot the name. But I did one of my videos, so you just go back to my archive and you'll see it. I'll feature something next time about it, because the DTF film works, but you really don't need it. You can go to Condi and they have another type of film that's similar to the DTF, but it can hold more of the sublimation ink and releases it a lot better. All right, so I think it's called Sublimation. So check it out. Just go to Condi and their website. But yeah, so I started watching Condi, and then I noticed, like, yo, they're putting this thing on shirts. What is that? And then that's when I started getting into sublimation, because with sublimation, I didn't have to worry about cutting anything. It's just an image I put on a shirt. But I had gotten a smaller printer to do that. It worked out. And then eventually I worked my way to getting the Epson 7710, right? The way I was able to get the Epson 7710, I was on E's channels, and somebody had mentioned like, yo, they sent the Epson set. This was like pre-COVID, I'd say 2018-ish, right? Early 18. And when they were doing that, I was like, for real? I gotta get me one of those then. So I went to Epson, and both the 7710, the 7720 was selling like hotcakes for $106. You know, with tax, it came to like 112. I was like, whoa. So I grabbed me one of those printers, but eventually, like I said in the beginning, I converted to the DTF. Now, leading to this point of why we're talking about sublimation, why sublimation is really key. And as you can see with the printers going up in price, somebody knows a little something about sublimation that those of you who are new don't realize. With sublimation, you can do so much more. When it comes to t-shirts, you can go beyond the scope of just ink on a left chest, right chest, full chest. You can sublimate the whole shirt anywhere you want, everywhere you want, anytime you want, so long as there's white on the shirt. So what that means is you can easily grab you a sublimation shirt, right? Basically 100% polyester or 50-50. Minimum is $2 to anywhere at $6, depending on how much polyester or what brand you get it. Now, after you get that shirt, guess what? You can do something called all over sublimation. So if you're doing like a rest in peace type of shirt, and you want to create feathers on somebody or whatever, have the clouds in the back and encompass the whole shirt, like all around the shirt, whatever, and you want to do it front and back, having the clouds on the shoulder, all that, and front and back, yo, sublimation is where to go. Because guess what? If you try to screen print a t-shirt with ink all over, it's going to be a thick piece of shirt, and nobody's gonna wear that. It's pretty much gonna feel like a leather jacket. If you were thinking about, you know what, maybe I can use, maybe I can use, what's that thing called, vinyl. It's the same thing. Vinyl in itself is pretty much ink that they've basically dried up, right? T-shirt ink that they've dried up, and it has a stretch capability and a elasticity about it, right? That's the word I was looking for. It allows it to be cut, and from it being cut, you can apply it to a shirt, and you're good to go, right? So you can't use sublimation. I mean, you can't use screen printing all over for a t-shirt, because it would be too thick, and the minute you start washing it, it starts to fade eventually. You can't use vinyl. What else can't you use? Now, if you're thinking DTG, you could, but it would still feel similar to the screen printed shirts, especially if it's all over. They'd have to do it in a way where it's screen printed type, and by screen print type, I mean they would have to create it where you'd have it'd have to be spot color meaning where they have little tiny dots, so microscopic that you'd have to use literally a microscope to see that there's dots, but from afar it looks like a full image. So they'd probably have to use that method so it doesn't feel so thick on you, right? So right now we're basically showing you for all over t-shirt, if a customer wants it, screen printing is out of the picture. DTG is definitely out of the picture. If DTG is out of the picture, I'm sorry, I love DTF, but DTF is out of the picture too. Can you do it? Yes. But the duration of how long it would last would be very low. You know? What else? So screen printing, DTG, DTF, vinyl, all those would be out of the picture. But there's one thing that you can do, one method that you can use for shirts when it comes to all over print, and that is sublimation. Why sublimation? Sublimation, if you ever had a pen and it leaked on your shirt and then you wash that shirt, but the color of the ink is still there and it's dyed into the shirt, that's what sublimation is. The actual full name of sublimation is dye sublimation. It's an ink made to dye the shirt where the shirt is where the ink of the sublimation goes on the shirt and it's inside the fabric, not on top of the fabric. So for you to even be able to remove the fabric, you'd have to bleach the heck out of it. And here's the issue with sublimation. When you bleach it, sometimes it doesn't come off. Because remember, it's dyed into the fabric itself. Sometimes you have a sublimation image and you bleach the area, like the image is still there. And that's because it's inside the shirt. Not all the time, sometimes, depending on what kind of shirt you have. Right? So sublimation is like king when it comes to like all over prints. And that's why I wanted to get a sublimation printer. But the one I got, unfortunately, was a little too small. I thought it was the right size, but I found out that I would not be able to do much with it because, I mean, I can still do a lot. It's just, it's too small of a print. It would take me way too long to fit every image together to create one whole image. But if I was be able to get a 13 by 19, a 13 by 19 shirt right there already, I don't even have to work hard on like cutting anything. Just print it, sublimate it, I'm done. You know, I can do front and back full color. Now, if you have a shirt and a customer is asking for it and it's for sport wear, you know, they're doing sports and it's sublimation, you really, I mean, it's for sports. You really don't have to worry about how you going to make this work. All you have to do is just sublimate it, because majority of sportwear is normally polyester. Why? Because it's a moisture wick fabric. It allows you to sweat in it, and after the sweat is on it, it dries quick, it washes easy, and the fibers tend to stick on it longer than fibers on a cotton shirt. Because it's a shirt that was engineered to do more than just be one. It was meant to be it was meant to be like, I don't know how I say it.
Press the button and take the parking ticket.
It was meant to be tested, pretty much. All right. Yeah, I go all the time with sublimation because sublimation is the way to go. Yeah, sublimation is the way to go. It's amazing, and being able to use it for all over prints without having to worry about like the image getting rubbed off. It's man, it's amazing. I love it. But yeah, like, yo, I, I have a special place for sublimation. One thing I want to do now is like focus a lot of my channel on doing the sublimation prints, because as you saw out of the video, all the videos I've done, I've basically done more sublimation than ever. And all it is a quick print, heat press on a shirt, remove it, and there it is. You don't have to do a second, I'm sure myself. You don't have to do like a second, a third, a fourth press. You just press it, right amount of heat, temperature, pressure, you're good to go. So yeah, like that's why I wanted to get the Epson 76 10, I believe. And once it gets here, I'm gonna do an unboxing, and hopefully we can get those large prints out, you know. So it is what it is. Just Levi Apparel, like and subscribe, and I'm gonna get started on videos to understand this printer, learn it, and when it comes, I gotta start rolling out stuff, because I have a few customers that want stuff. And you know, when you're a new business, you want to get started and doing like lots of prints, but the issue is you got to have everything in play, because the minute you start printing things and they're not to the liking of the customer, you're doing a lot of returns. I've done returns in the past before because I didn't have the right equipment, and when I tried to improvise, it didn't come out well. So I'm really trying not to do that. On top of that, I gotta make sure these shirts are ready, because it's a friend in the army. So once he gets it, he's all set. So we played around with sublimation. I have my regular sublimation printer at home that I can print, but that's gonna be for mugs and small items. This new one that's coming is gonna be used for large items. Plus, with my brand happening, I'm gonna have a lot of time to just focus on doing stuff for myself and do different projects that I'm probably gonna be featuring on this channel. All right. So this is Levi Apparel. Like and subscribe. This was a talk about sublimation. Sublimation printers are increasing the price. Sublimation is king. When it comes to doing prints, nothing can do what sublimation does, because it can go on anything. All right, not that the other ones can't, but sublimation is like leading in everything. On top of that, sublimation is what you want when it comes to like having a long-lasting shirt. All right, Levi Apparel, like, subscribe, is what it is.